my fun adventure for the day.
And that was all day today.
That was the better part of the day. I was out at the
Wow.
archery
Okay.
range. So it was the first time I've actually had a chance to do this, like Yumi style archery. There's a particular word for it, but I can't remember what it is. Um, Keijo or something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Of
Um,
course. I
yeah,
mean, sure.
yeah. But it was. I mean, the one fellow who was the more senior fellow had been teaching this for, as I said, 30 years. And when he found out that I had been the coach at UC Irvine, he's like, "Hey, we used to teach at UC Irvine." I'm like, "Yeah, were you at the Anteater Recreation Center?" He's like, "Yeah, we were." And I'm like, "We were the fencing class waiting outside, staring through the glass at you
That's
guys
funny.
and
That's
waiting for
funny.
you." And I'm like, we always would joke because you would spend the hour-long class, 50 minutes of it is just sitting there breathing, going through this whatever sort of
Mm.
meditation. And then the last 10 minutes of the class, each student comes up, shoots an arrow, and goes home. you know? And so he's like,
but
yeah,
but
yeah,
at least everyone's oxygenated, and that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
important, right?
But it's with a lot of Japanese martial arts and things like that, and a lot of other Asian one. It's really the focus isn't on necessarily. I want to shoot a dozen arrows or a
Right.
hundred arrows or
Right.
whatever. It's all about I'm
Oh, I do it.
breathing
I
and I'm
do it. I
doing
want
it
to do
and
it perfectly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's a sort of a meditation to it or sort of Zen to
Yeah,
it element to
definitely
it.
that. Yeah, that type of archery, there definitely is. That's the whole thing about it. It's
Well, and you're doing is it Aikido?
right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that with that too, right? Where you've got the breathing and the postures and all that jazz.
Um, not as much as the archery
Oh,
side
okay.
of it. Yeah,
You're just
I
content to
just
throw somebody over your
remember,
shoulder.
what is it, the biathlon in the Winter Olympics? It's like cross country skiing and riflery,
Yes.
which I
Yes.
just find just to be the most amazing combination. And I'm just floored when I watch these people who've just finished cross country skiing, some number of kilometers, and I'd be a puddle, right? And they are so calm and so not breathing hard, and they just lift up the rifle and pop, 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 and you're just like, no. It's the most amazing sport I've ever seen. That you're not even winded after cross country skiing real fast a long way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting stuff there to put it mildly. So yeah, well, we always call that that's the one that the Finns, were very good at in 1940.
Yeah, yeah. Don't mess with the
Or
fins.
not, was it 1939, 1940? Yes. The
Uh,
Winter War, wasn't it
the
there?
Winter War,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably 3940, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well,
It's
speaking
a
of
good one.
speaking of shooting Russians, here we are at Zorndorf.
Yes. Speaking of shooting Russians,
There we
you've
go.
got the wrong attitude here.
I was trying to find an appropriate segue for our conversation.
Well, it was a smooth segue,
Yeah,
as long as you're not Russian,
that's
of
true.
course.
That's true.
Hmm.
So,
All right. Well, um, then where do we go from here? I guess it's you are +5 because I'm nothing because Furmore's not even around.
yeah, and we are still ensconced in the 11:20
We're in
turn.
the 11:20 turn.
And we're
I
about partway through, I
we're
think.
partway through. We've got, yeah. I mean, yeah. I've got a lot of commands that haven't activated yet.
Yeah,
So you probably have a fair number.
I've got one
see,
infantry and one cavalry on my side that haven't gone yet. And what about you,
Right.
David?
I got 1, 2, 3, and a couple independents.
Okay. All right. So we got
Yeah.
we got some things to do. Well, Michael, why don't you
Well,
go ahead and chuck some
I'll
dice?
just. Well, now wait a minute. There wasn't a zero in there, so I'm not really sure how we're supposed to react.
That's true. That's true. We don't know what it is if there's not several zeros there.
Hmm.
So, Well, that's one for us. Do you have
Right.
anything that you want to do, need, want, or desire to do, David?
Nothing pressing, but I'll take it if you
Okay,
don't.
yeah, go ahead and take it. Unless we want Michael to do something. I think he'd done everything with Sal, right? I think he'd been
No,
working
that
with
can't be
Sal.
true because Li is
Oh, okay.
still
All right.
showing there. So there must be just at least that one.
Okay. All right. So Sal is still engaged there. So. Oh yeah, and I see there's another
Yep, yep.
Sal
Sal
guy out
D
on the
over
end. Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Diaz
yeah.
there.
So
Or Dolgoruk. Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Yes. All right.
All right, I'll do goblins.
Right.
So this guy
Yep.
here.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yep, yep. Very good.
Let's see. Oops, no, I don't want that one. I want this one. One. 3, 4. Okay. Okay.
All right. Time for me to check some dice. Oh, that's more
Oh,
like
that's a
it.
zero.
A
That's what we
zero's
wanted.
coming out.
It's a Russian 3, so that's a command confusion.
Command confusion. Other player picks one of your commands which may be finished.
Right.
Initiative required.
Right.
So does that mean we pick one of your commands or you pick one of our commands?
No, I'm pretty sure that's you pick one of mine. Other player.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it
So
was a Russian
Russian.
special event because it was a
Yep,
zero
yep, yep.
three,
Okay.
right? And so the other player, meaning you guys, pick one of mine, which may be finished, initiative required. Now, of course, this is all going to be completely independent of the whole detachment thing.
Okay, so if
But
we did pick uh one of Gallatin's guys,
right,
that wouldn't
that
necessarily prevent you
doesn't
from
change
doing
anything.
something with a Sal
Right,
guy. Okay.
right. Let's just take a look here. Just want to make sure about this because really all this one is. Oh no, this is one of those roll twice things.
Yep.
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 Yeah.
So you've if they fail, then they don't move. If they're half, then they
They're
move
just
half.
finished.
Yeah.
The half, right? Exactly. So
So I'm thinking, David, unless you've got some ideas, these guys that are back here that are trying to maybe move to cut off my cavalry coming around towards his wagons.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and see how good a Commander
all right.
Diaz
Well,
is.
let's just go ahead and bang a couple of rolls there. Well, I bet you he's just finished. Unless he's really good,
Oh,
and he's
no.
not. So he is finished.
All right. That means we might be able to make it through the town in one piece.
Hmm.
Or
Although those
die
guys have already
trying.
activated, so yeah.
They have.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's fair
Yeah.
possibility. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I get to roll again. See how many more zeros I can get. 55. All right.
Apparently none. None
Yes.
zeros.
Well, you subtract the first number from the second number, and we got a zero there.
Oh,
So
really?
that's one way of looking at it. Do you have anything else you want to do, Dave? Or maybe we can have
Righty.
Michael do something?
I might as well let Michael do something.
Okay.
Me?
Yes, little old you.
Oh, I hardly think that's appropriate. Golly. Wow, here I am desperately thrumming my way there. There we go. I finally found what I was looking for. All the charts in the world, but not the one you want.
It's always the last one that you're looking for you find there, right?
Well, sort of, yes. Yeah. So here I am looking. Mm, that is going to be a. Hmm. I can't make heads or tails out of what any of these water hexides are up there.
Oh, up there by the town?
Yeah, we talked about this some time ago, but I'm trying to.
So the only ones that are the quote unquote river are these ones here that have that dark. You see how they got like what looks like a dark speckle in them, right? And then
Uh,
these are
okay.
streams, I thought, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
all right. So what we've got is we've got creek, or we got pond, river. We've got creek, and we have stream. So that's the trick. We have three different degrees that we need to consider here.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Creek and stream. So what's the
Right.
creek?
See, that's the trick. So
Okay. So I
they're
thought
all
it's.
hexside terrain.
Yep.
And I mean, I gotta confess that if I look at like that, for example, looks quite different to that. There's definitely a difference of some sort between there and there, right?
I'm not sure where you're flashing.
Oh, I'm way back near the village that you're so concerned about.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So,
oh, and now I've
so
just lost my stinking connection to the game server again. This
Okay.
happened
That's
last week,
yeah.
didn't
That's
it?
why I'm like I'm not seeing any flashing. So
uh,
Interesting.
so
Okay, stand by.
center.
Um, okay, I have no idea what happened.
are you in or not in?
It looks like I'm in twice, but I don't see anything.
Okay. So let's
Why don't
everybody
you
else. I'll host
save?
it. Yeah. I just saved it, so
Yeah,
I'll host one.
right.
Are we leaving this room?
Yep. Yep. We're gonna leave it.
All right. You saved it, right?
Yes.
This time with feeling.
Yep.
I think I need to bail. No.
I see you in the room.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not seeing anything. So I'm,
Yeah. You
I'm just
probably need to
I'm gonna
disconnect
exit
and
the
then
application
yeah.
and try again.
Yep.
This time with feeling.
This indeed.
That's how you'll know. It's because of the feeling.
Indeed. And William
Uh,
Arens from beautiful Kitchener, Ontario, Canada
oh,
sends his
marvelous.
greetings.
And what
So,
temperature is it?
yes, how cold is it in beautiful Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, William? We could roll the dice and see. Probably the zero is involved somewhere.
I bet the zero is
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Probably a negative is involved if he's going to give it to you in Celsius.
That's possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I just looked. I mean, I've been paying attention. Obviously, my daughter went to Chicago, so I pay attention to Chicago weather. It's currently 6 degrees in Chicago,
Ouch.
and that would be Fahrenheit for those of you scoring at home.
Well, yeah, and I'd heard that I guess it's supposed to be so cold in DC tomorrow that they're going to be doing the inauguration
Yes, isn't that
indoors.
wild? Inside, like for
Yeah.
the first time in a gazillion years,
Yeah,
right?
I think the last time was back in '84 or something like that with
Oh,
Reagan's
not
second
maybe not
term.
not that long ago, but still a good while,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah. Well,
I'll be
what,
darned.
40 years? So
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So everybody in there?
I'm hoping
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
yeah. I look.
So these are those
Yeah.
are pond slash river.
Okay, I
Okay.
believe that. They certainly look like it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, these are a stream,
These are stream. Okay.
Okay.
and if you go further east to the Hofbrook, those are creek.
Those are creek.
Ah, okay. So the
Wow.
Hofbrook is a creek, and then
Yes.
everything else is a stream, and
Yep.
then the
Or a
other one
river.
is Pond River. Okay. All right. Well, that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, the Hofbrook
So
looks a little bit more serious than the other ones,
Right.
but
So
not as
they give the
serious.
example. Yeah, they give the examples of 1526 and 1527 as the creek
as
in the center
creek.
map.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Or brook, I suppose. All right. But then the river is just from the west map edge to
Right.
where?
Well,
I would
this
guess
is
to right here.
Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to figure that out because I'm looking at this
yeah.
brook here,
That's
which
going to
looks
be yeah.
enormous.
That's I would call that river too, right? But this
Yep.
is it's the Meitzel is the river that's
Yeah.
here. That's the Meitzel, and then
Yeah.
part of it goes off this way, or the Hofbrook runs into it,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm
right?
just, anyway, thank
Yeah.
you, Rick Barber. It looks beautiful till you actually like need to make it make sense. Okay.
Well,
All right. So
we
I'm
just need
sorry.
to run a piece of tape across it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then we
that
would know and
seemed to
just
work for the
yeah,
last guy.
and
Yeah,
let the tape
absolutely.
yellow a little bit, and then we'll
Now, now what's the? I don't see a movement thing for the bridges.
uh
Well, the bridges are just roads. If you're in road column,
yeah.
All right.
you
So,
just
so,
it extends the road across the
so is
the
that the
water
only way
course.
to? Is that the only way to go from there to there? Is to be in road column?
That would be my
Yeah.
guess. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, and because Pond River is just not permitted, and Creek is tough enough actually. Wow, yeah, Creek is really tough. Stream's fairly tough, but not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what does that mean? That means uh holy smokes. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm looking at here. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Okay, where was I? I was doing something. I was
You
doing
were.
something with one of Sal's boys, I guess. At least that was the presumption I was making. Right. So those are Gal's boys. These are Sal's boys. All right. Um, all right. Well, then I guess we'll do Lima, India. This
Okay.
guy, Lieber, is, I can't tell. It's too small on my screen. Um, And let's see, who do we have who belongs to him? Anybody, or is it just the stack he's with? Maybe just the stack he's with. I'm not sure I see anybody else.
Um You can
If I
always
look
go
in the
to the
graveyard,
graveyard.
oh, geez, never mind. Look at the graveyard. It's
Yeah, that I
a little
see
bit
1, 2,
busy.
3, plus the leader himself. So yeah, so it looks like there's at least 2 of his.
Yeah, no, there's another one right there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, there's a third one. All right. So basically, most of the command's been wiped out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good time. All right. Well, that's delightful. Okay. So makes making sure everyone's in command easier, though.
It does.
Right. That's pretty useful. Um. All right. Well, then we'll just go ahead and don't need to activate because he's actually by Sal, so that's pretty special. Guess I'll shoot because I can. Although, what is it going to be? It's going to be 6. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and activate those grenadiers right next to him
Right.
as well. So then that means I could actually fire with 7 increments, I guess,
Right.
here. So I'm guessing that probably amounts to 14. So 1-to-1 looks like against that target there. Why don't we just do that and get it out of the way? Yep, got it out of the way. All right, so we'll go ahead and turn. That's 1. You get a shot.
Oh, okay. And how does that work? So then this guy's worth 2 points? No, he's got his full
No,
complement,
he's
right?
good for 4. It's the one next to him is only good for 2.
So then I have
So
6, and these guys are both musketeers, I think.
musketeers, so
Okay.
2, so 1-to-1.
Yep. So here we go. Oh, that's a miss.
Well played, sir. Um,
Just returning the favor.
yeah, that's only fair. All right, we'll do that.
We get
And you'll
another
go ahead
shot
and get
at
to do
you.
it again. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hey, well, that's
that's
too
a
bad
hit.
because there wasn't enough of those guys left to start with. So,
Ouch. 1-to-1
all
is
right. Well, I guess that's how it's got
97.
to be.
Oh yeah, they're 1 loss, right?
And a disorder check,
Yep.
which they pass.
Okay.
Okay, good times. Okay. Well, that's genius. Trying to figure out what to do with these other fellas here. Do anything with them? Boy, it's not really obvious that I gain a lot by doing much. So maybe I just leave them right where they are.
Yeah, if nothing
All
else,
right.
they slow down. They don't leave a big gap.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, any advance they make, first of all, just gets them shot at, and secondly, doesn't really prevent.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gets them more easily flanked. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. All right. So just trying to think about it though. Do I activate anybody else for any reason whatsoever? Just trying to think about what could I possibly do that would be useful back this way. Because by the way, I just need to have a conversation with Fermor because I mean he's a freaking idiot. This is just unbearably bad defensive terrain. Now I appreciate that he thought he was facing the other way.
Right.
In which case, yeah, it was probably okay defensive terrain, but really, like having this Galsengrund right through the middle of your lines just makes really not a lot of sense.
Let's see. William is saying it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit, which is minus 10 degrees Celsius here in Kitchener. So there's our 0.
Okay,
Yep,
very
there we
nice. Very nice. Well done, you. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. All right, whatever. All right, let's move on. David?
All right, throw some dice, David.
All right, boom.
All right, that's another one for us to either use or to give over
Abuse.
to or abuse. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, do you want to move something else, David? Or shall we give
Oh,
another one to our friends, the Russians?
hmm.
Mm.
Give it to the Russians.
All right.
All right, we will go ahead and do Gal
Okay.
M, who is here in the middle of the field and who is shockingly actually within range of Gal, so
Yep.
doesn't need to roll, which is super weird, but I mean it happens. And I think there's not really a lot to do other than because everybody's in reach. Okay, apparently I'm hitting the wrong key. There we go. That's one. That's two. That's three. And we'll put the guns back on top where they belong. And then, I don't know, put the leader here. Oh, except there should be a finish marker on top of the guns because they've already fired. There we go. I'll just go ahead and advance those guys there so they got somebody to shoot at next time. And that's it.
All right.
And now it's back to my roll.
Yep. Yep. 61. That's us.
That is a really nice roll
That is.
for somebody.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got somebody I can move. I've got Derich down here who hasn't done anything exciting yet, so I can get him moving in some way. So we'll have everybody turn. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gets them there. And we'll move him up and Philippe. Okay.
Philippe, a Frenchman?
Yep, yep.
All right. I believe it's your roll.
It is. It is. Let's see if we can get another 0. Oh,
That is
we're
not a
at the
zero.
other
That
end
does
of the
advance the
extreme
clock.
there in a big way. All right. Well, that's one for us. I think given the auspices of that rule, we should let the Russians go.
Oh, okay.
The augurs suggest that you should let the Russians
Yes.
go.
Otherwise, Frederick might fall off his horse with a
Mm.
rule like that.
Well, let's don't do that. Then.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we will do K. Who's
Okay.
back here? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Just checking.
Okay.
Okay, A. Right. So that should be everybody there's in reach. He's in reach of Gal, which is super weird. So we'll just take that. And then honestly, I guess we'll just go ahead and march up and down the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm, eh, we'll go ahead and do some more. We'll go ahead and do 5, and he'll go 6, and oh, excuse me, that'd be more than that. Never mind. That was already no. It would be. It would be. So that'd be 5, and for these guys that would be 5. Okay, so that's enough, and the leader will go ahead and back up to here, and then we'll roll for these 3. Okay, that was a super weird thing just happened. All right, we'll go ahead and roll for these guys for their disorder checks.
Okay.
We'll just start with this one here, and the
They're
next
happy.
one,
Yeah.
and the next one, and I don't know. The Grenadiers maybe. Nope, they're disordered too. And these fellas here are definitely disordered. Because when it rains, pours. And we flip him, and there we go.
All right, David, it's over to you.
All right.
That's going to move the
It's a
clock again.
tie.
Oh, it is a tie. Yes.
Move the clock and a tie. All right.
Yeah.
That's what we call a bonus.
Yeah.
Big time.
So, all right.
All right. What is there anything but
where-
you want to do? I still have a command, but I'm waiting on it. I don't need to move it right
Where?
away.
Where's that? Must have closed it. Okay, what's the clock?
We got lots of time.
Yeah,
They got
there's,
lots
there's
of
several more before we're going to
Yeah.
have anything to worry about.
All right. I give it to the Russians again.
Okay.
Okay. Um, no. Looking around to see who's where.
You got a couple of Gal infantries out on the west, and
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else. Everybody else looks like they're part of the
I think
expeditionary or
they're
the
either SAL
observation
or the
corps.
observation
Yeah.
corps or something like that. Yeah, so probably not. So if that's the case, then I guess maybe I'll just go ahead and do um Galgruben.
Okay. He's
I
your
mean,
cavalry with your.
that's this guy in the
Yep.
middle. And let's see. So these 2 knuckleheads are out of command.
Well, isn't Galgruben? Aren't these the cavalry that are part of Galgruben, and these are infantry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I had the idea that those were cavalry. Now that I'm looking at them, of course, it's not so.
Okay. I thought
Um,
maybe there was a different commander, and I wasn't, and I'd missed it.
no. Okay, no, never mind. I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue. Okay, that's
All
I
right.
gotta
Well,
do.
here's the latest from William Orenz. He says the Buffalo
All right.
Bills just won the latest Ice Bowl over the Baltimore Ravens in their cold home stadium, 27-25. So he says it's time to put the great contest in Zorndorf in its place on the big screen. So we've got, so Zorndorf is on the big screen at Williams House. You know, we've
That's
made it big
exciting.
time. Yep. So we have to have a special thanks to our sponsor. So remember, people,
I
check with your doctor to see if Zorndorf is right for you.
is right for you,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, so we're gonna do a disorder check for these guys who got passed through.
Oof.
Unbelievable. Just if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Well, that one's not going to be modified by tenacious Russians. So,
Well, it's not going to be modified by.
oh wow, the other guys are.
What a Charlie Foxtrot. That's all right, you know. When the dice treat you like this, you don't even have to feel bad when stuff goes wrong,
Yep,
because
yep.
it's just like, it's like I
You're
I
like,
couldn't have won no matter what happened in
that's
that
right.
case.
Well, you know, I
right.
always tell my students that the Romans preferred their generals to be lucky than good.
Mm,
And so I for a
yeah,
while I went, well, that doesn't make any sense. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah. If it doesn't
yeah, it
matter how
does.
good you are, if you're unlucky.
Yeah,
You know, there's a
exactly.
lot of Romans that are dying, but if you're, you know, if you're a mediocre general, but you're really lucky, hey,
That's good
that's
enough.
good enough indeed. So,
All right. I don't know whose role that was.
I think it was David's maybe.
I
So
think
we're
it was.
back
I
over to
think you're
you.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So we just did that. And so there we go. That's back to you guys.
Yep. Let's see. Do you have anything you want to do, David? You still have some infantry.
Let's see. What do we got to do here? Cavalry.
So I sent the screenshot to my daughter of the weather app from my
Right.
phone, and I told her that we are looking at good times, and she says, "I'm personally looking forward to Tuesday's high of 2."
Yeah, because where you are in Texas, it doesn't get that cold, does it? Do you get snow
No,
occasionally, or?
think I think 0 is the lowest temperature I can ever recall here ever. It was 5 degrees in Austin, which is where I happen to be living, going to university,
Right.
and there'd been precip, so they had closed the interstate, and I guess they'd reopened it, and I had a Mitsubishi pickup truck back in those days, and I'd noticed for a couple of weeks that the heater wasn't working, and I thought to myself, it's not going to be very much fun driving up 35 up to Dallas if it's 5 degrees here in Austin and 0 in Dallas
Right.
if the heater doesn't work. And so I thought about the screens that you'd see that truckers had put in front of the grill of their tractor trailers
Right.
in cold weather. And I thought, you know what? And I went into the closet, I found a shoebox, I flattened it, I wedged it in front of the radiator, and I drove on up. And for the first time in weeks, I saw the temperature gauge budge. And it was, I won't say it was warm in the cab of the truck, but it wasn't freezing.
Right.
And so that was pretty nice. And yeah, sure enough, it was the thermostat was stuck open, so it was circulating water even when it shouldn't be, right?
Right.
But yeah, that is why 0 is the coldest temperature ever here, and that's nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just nuts. Teens would be pretty freaking cold here. Single digits is like out of hand.
Yeah.
20s is normal. You get 20s every winter. You get 20s. It is. If I were to check right now, it is 24.
Okay.
So
What
not
how
pleasant.
cold do you need it to be for snow to form? It needs to get
Well,
in the
the
30s
problem.
or
No, so here at least, the real challenge for us is that snow requires that the atmosphere be cold all the way up and down. And the trouble is oftentimes here, not all of that atmosphere column is cold enough.
Right.
And then you end up getting freezing rain or sleet.
Right.
And so we tend not to get all that much snow usually because it's not cold enough for
Right.
snow. Now, I think if it gets crazy cold, you don't get snow just because there's not enough energy in the atmosphere to cause all the convection and all the
Right.
craziness you need for that to work. But at least here in Texas, we get way too much ice too often.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that's actually even more miserable than snow
Yeah. Well, I
because
think
you
in the, almost 60 years I've lived here in Southern California, we've gotten what snowflakes, but as soon as they hit the ground or get near the ground, they disappear,
yeah,
kind of stuff.
forget it.
So, yeah, we've
Yeah.
had snowflakes, and so I don't know if that's like in the 30s or what it is in order to generate that, but it's very rare. Maybe twice in my life we've had
Well,
that.
I remember there was a time, it was a few years ago here, one day and this was also very unusual, and it was
So,
pretty late in the
David,
season.
did you pick your command?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Brett out here, the other
Oh, the other cavalry guy.
cavalry
Okay, cool,
Okay.
cool.
guy and the hussars along
Okay,
with him,
all
something
right,
like that.
all right,
The problem we had, it was kind of late in the season. It wasn't terribly cold, and it started snowing,
mm-hmm,
and it snowed all day.
mm,
It snowed all day, and it was like 36, 37 degrees Fahrenheit the entire time, which is like totally weird, right? Because it's like, why is it snowing? Well, I guess it was cold further up,
right,
but not cold down at the surface. But it was snowing so fast and so hard
right.
that it actually piled up 2 or 3 inches of snow, in spite of the fact that at no point was it below freezing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, not really what you'd expect.
So William says when the cold and ice come to Austin, the people need to stay inside, not having sufficient warm clothing, and not
Big
understanding
time.
how to drive on ice-covered roads,
Yes.
especially in hill country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Well, we could say the
Yeah.
same thing about people driving in the rain in Southern California.
You probably
We're
could.
like,
You see that
oh,
about as often.
oh my God, this winter has been, this whole year's been terrible. It's the least amount of rain we've had in a long time. And we'd had some
Yeah.
pretty good seasons before. They were like, okay, the drought's over. We had a
Right.
couple of good years of rain, and then it's just like, oh no, we're back to our El Nino or whatever it is, whatever weird weather pattern.
Right.
So,
You were on the news all the time in Southern California, but lately it seems less so. I guess just out of control fires are interesting for a few days.
well, I mean, at whatever stage they're at now, they're not causing quite as much havoc.
Mm,
Um, and of course, there's some new disaster somewhere else in the world. So, you know,
thank goodness.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, it's like anything else. The news cycle moves pretty fast. All right,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's my turn to
All
throw
right.
some dice. Here
Yep.
we go.
If there are any
Hey.
celebrities' houses burning down, then what's the point?
All right, that's going to move the clock.
Good luck. Yeah.
And
You know?
that's one for us, just barely. Um, let's see. Well, you still have that infantry one that
I
hasn't
still
moved
have one
yet. Yeah.
infantry one to
And I got
go.
the cavalry. Let's go ahead and let Michael do something exciting with one of his.
Mm. 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 Okay. Okay, I guess I'll maneuver the cavalry over here, over on the east side.
Okay.
Of course, he has to roll to put himself in command because there's nobody to put him in command. That's probably not going to be very good for him. No, he's not. So that's fine. No rapid march. It's okay. Well, it's not really okay, but it doesn't matter what I want. Okay. Well, given that, then probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all we can really do.
That was the equivalent of a line backup without the line backup.
Except actually, these guys could all move one further because they're extra speed. So we'll just do that. And there could come a time when that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
I can't rule it out. I
But
can't
given
confirm
your
it
die
either.
rolling, it spares you all of those disorder checks. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And to me, that's just not worth the risk,
Yeah.
especially with as many units as that. It's like, and with the command as spread as it is,
Yeah.
it's not like the leader has the luxury of moving anywhere.
Yeah. All right.
So,
David, it's your turn to chuck some dice.
Okay. Chuck away.
Well, that's
chugga,
definitely
chugga, chugga,
definitely
chugga.
one for us, but doesn't move the clock.
Okay.
All right. Michael,
I'll
why
be
don't you go ahead and take
right.
another one?
Oh, okay. All right, then.
You can't go refill your whiskey glass just yet.
I won't. I won't. I mean, I would, but I won't. Okay. So then what are we going to do now? We're going to do Bro T. Thiessen
Where the heck is
from the
he?
Observation Corps back here.
Okay, so
Thiessen,
you're
back
done
row
with
of the Observation Corps.
so you're done with Gal.
Well, yeah, I've done all
Okay.
that I was going to do with Gal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay, so let's see.
Time for the bro.
Well, yeah, bro. One, it's two. That's 1.5. That's 2, and that's 2.5. Believe it or not, they all managed to do it.
Wow.
How weird is that?
That looks very official.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got something that looks slightly like a reserve.
Yeah, not where he needs it, but whatever.
There you go.
Okay. Well, there you go.
All right, it's back to you. Throw
All
some
right.
dice.
Dice have been chucked.
Dice have been chucked. All right, David, do you have anything exciting you want to do?
Yeah. Now, if a unit starts in a woods and moves one hex into another woods, does that trigger the
No,
check? Right. That's
no.
what I thought.
It's moving into and out of that does it.
Right.
You have to do both.
Right.
Well, you do move out of one and into another.
Right, but if that's all the
No,
one you do.
You have to move in and out of one of them in the same turn.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
The same one.
I might as well. I might as well do Bulow then. So what? Yeah, it's Bulow.
Yep.
Right. So I was gonna here, there. How many is it for actually infantry in the woods?
Almost
infantry
certainly
in the line in the woods. It's cost 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, and 5. And you still got one to go, right?
I do, yeah. So
Okay.
I'm trying
Okay.
to figure out where we need to put the king.
Right. So
So
he can actually move a little further over to the left if you need to be
okay.
to help. So that's why I.
So 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So I could park him over here maybe or something like that if need be. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yep.
All right.
He could get along this line there somewhere. Whatever helps.
All right. All right. Let me go ahead and throw some dice, see what we get. Oh, it's another one. It's
It's a
another
Russian
0.
4.
It's another command confusion.
Another command confusion. All right.
All right. So who do we want to have
Well, your
confused?
choices are getting smaller here.
They are. Who has not moved yet that
Hmm.
could be confused?
Well,
Oh, we
so
got
so so
out
let's be
here
clear.
Yeah.
fast,
I
right?
think he's the only one who's still eligible for a full activation who hasn't already
Yeah.
activated. So I'm not really sure if it makes any sense to ask anybody else to go.
Yeah. No, let's have Mr. Fast go.
All right. It's probably enough to finish him.
Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
sure
Yeah.
is. So he's done, which means that he doesn't even get to do the disorder check for the turn. Just
Oh,
nothing.
all right.
Yeah.
Here, let's chuck some dice again. An 88. That's going to move the clock.
Okay. All right. Now at
And
this point, what does that mean? I've got 1, 2, 3. I think I got 3 who haven't activated.
that are eligible or
Well, I mean, they're still eligible because even if it's only a limited activation, they still have to activate before the turn can
okay.
end.
Okay. I thought that
It's
so
no with a detachment rule, it means that if you skip
right.
away from a detachment, then the remaining commands in that detachment can only do limited activations. It's not the same as not activating,
Right.
but it's, obviously similar
Okay.
because they can't move. But they could still shoot. They could still, disorder recovery. They could still do
Sure.
those sorts of things. But in this case, none of them have any interest in doing so. So I've got 3. You got 1, apparently.
Yep, yep. We've still got what's his name? Lentulus, our fine
Okay.
Roman cavalry general out here on the
Who's the?
Prussian
Oh,
general
there's the
and
third
Roman
one.
emperor. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the third one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, so we'll activate him but first I'll move some of these leaders so we've got people where they need to be.
Right.
So I think if I move him up here, Manteuffel, Konitz, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, everybody's in command there, so we could do a wing ding if we needed to. We can move the king up. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Yep. So they're in command or range of the king. So we can flip the king. Oh, he's a minus 15. People really love being near the king, right? All right.
I think he should lead a cavalry charge.
Yes. Famous last words.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good strategy when you're already winning.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So we'll move these chaps then. So this guy here, we'll start with him first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets us there. 6 gets us there. Good. And then this chap is going to do just kind of follow the leader. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets him there. This guy is going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's going to do something similar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this guy's going to do something similar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there like that. This guy's going to go over here so he can be near his buds. And we will then flip him and then Sadelets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could put Sadelets there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Everybody is in command there too. Oh, Sadelets is a good leader too. He's very inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, absolutely. He was one of the bigs.
Yeah. Well, they named a battleship after him. No one named a battle cruiser after Lentulus. So
There you go.
yeah,
That's
maybe
really
there's
good to know.
there's a tugboat in Kiel Harbor named after that guy.
Maybe there is, yeah. Oh, SS Lunchulus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh. All right.
Okay, so that's it. That's it for us. So then I guess I think it's I don't know who
My
was.
roll,
Yep,
isn't it?
your role. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. Hey, actually got one on his own there.
There you go, and it
Holy
moves the clock.
smokes. Now that it absolutely doesn't matter. That's great.
And that moves the.
Yeah, moves the
Yeah.
clock ever so much closer.
Okie dokie. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just go ahead and turn this guy back over there. Doesn't matter. So I'll roll. And that moves the clock again. And I think I have to take it.
Yep.
So that flips him over. So Eric, it's your roll.
Okay, here we go. And that's another one for you.
And okay, that's good. All right, and let's see who can do what.
You still have, how many commands do you have left? 1 or 2?
Just the one. Just
Okay.
the one.
Well, and you still have your Cossacks that haven't moved yet out in the west.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a tiny bit that's still going on here. Yeah, so I mean, the only command is this gal command here.
right.
I will go ahead and move these Cossacks a little bit, though. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's probably good enough.
So so if this cavalry didn't want to do a disorder check, he could go 1 hex, and then the next turn 1 hex. Would that?
Because he's moving through the swamp, right? Or the
Right.
farm.
Well, depends, because I guess boy, it's a little hard to tell. Is that hex a swamp or not? The one he's in doesn't look like
Well,
it.
this one I thought was, right?
I mean, it might be.
I mean, it has swampy elements to it.
Yeah, I guess it might. So, if that were the case, then it would actually take him 3 turns.
Right, because I had moved here and stop, right?
Turning and moving.
Oh, yeah.
Would be
Trigger it. Yeah.
Be Yeah, exactly. On the other hand, who cares? I mean, look at those guys. They're probably 18s, right? I mean, what difference does it make?
Or well, actually, they can go straight ahead, right?
Yeah, they
Sure, they
could.
could.
Yeah, and that,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
they cross
that
the stream, so there's a check
yeah, and
for
so
that.
they'll have a disorder check
Yeah,
for that. And again, that's like, who cares, right? We flip them over, we find that they're 20s. So the risk is not very high.
yeah, and
Okay. Is there anybody else that's going to move? Anybody else feel like moving?
I think we've reached the end of all the.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there's anything worth worrying about. I mean, I could move things, but I don't know what the point of it would be.
I think you should send your Cossacks to look for Fairmore.
That would be pretty useful. It's interesting because since you got your 24 pounders moved forward, there's not a whole lot of reason for me to worry about moving Cossacks around. And you don't have any guys that are routing right now. So again, moving Cossacks around seems kind of silly. I mean, I probably should go ahead and move them, but again, without having real cavalry support in the area, I don't know. I should probably go ahead and move them anyway. Um,
If nothing else,
One,
it'll make David
two,
nervous.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, yeah, and that's worth something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, you could charge him if you wanted to, right? But they just have to make a
Mm-hmm.
check, and the morale ain't all that hot.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah,
No, I mean they're interesting because they're different than Cossacks in some other games we've played. In that, yeah, they really can charge. It's just they're
yeah.
not very effective at it. So it's probably not a good use of them, even if it is a conceivable use of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it seems like most of what their benefit would be is just kind of picking off weak units
Right.
or just distracting your cavalry to a point that you can't really use it the way you want to.
Yeah.
Which is that's okay. So all right, I think that's it. I don't even
All
really worth
right.
worrying about.
Cool, cool.
All
So
right.
now we're at the end of the thing. We would be rolling for routed
Right.
units and shaken units and all that good stuff, right?
So I just rolled, so I guess I'm rolling first in the rally phase.
Yep.
And let's see, who have I got? We do shaken units first.
Yep.
I see a shaken unit here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can start with him. He's not in enemy zone control, so it's just +10.
Oh, he's very happy to be
Okay.
back.
He's changed his mind about being a coward. That's really encouraging. um, we got these infantry that I thought were cavalry. They seem to be shaken, so I guess I'll start with this one here. Again, +10. Probably not, but I'll look. And the next one,
Well, don't. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
definitely not.
Because you don't get the plus. Your plus is canceled by Fairmore's absence.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, 34. So no, he's there no benefit to those knuckleheads. Um is that it? I think it might be for shaken only. I don't think there's anybody else shaken.
I don't see anybody. You got a routed chap,
Yeah, I got the one routed
and
that I need to worry
yeah,
about, but that's the only one I can find. So all right, so then we'll go ahead and do the routed guy. So he's at plus 15. Yeah, plus 15. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay, so it just moves 4. And I think that's it. So over to you.
okay. I think we've got one chap that's shaken here,
Yeah.
and 2 that are routed. So for the guy that's
Okay.
shaken, let's go ahead and roll for him. Oh,
Okay.
he's definitely happy.
I have a shaken one up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
right, of course.
Yeah. Uh,
okay, so now he's just disordered. All right. So
You know,
then you've got it.
he's plus 25 because he's in an enemy zone of control, so he needs better than a 51.
yeah, so he is
Still
still
shaking.
shaken.
Okay. All right, and then we got 2 routed guys
Yep.
need to be
So
dealt
we'll roll
with
for this
next.
guy here. We'll just chuck the dice and see what we get. 28. I don't think that's going to be good
No joy.
enough. He is a 21, so at least he's not going to suffer any more
Right. Yeah.
humiliation. 1, 2, 3, 4 gets him there.
Right.
Over these strange temporal cosmic
Yes.
squeezing that's happening there along that hex
Eddies in the
line.
time-space
Yes.
continuum. Yeah.
All right, we'll roll for this guy over here.
Okay.
51. Now he's
Boy, I
half
don't think he
dead.
died. Yeah, he's plus
Let's
25, so I
see.
don't know. He's gonna have, yeah, he's good enough. Yeah.
Hey,
So
he did
I
it. So
was
now he's only
shaken and disordered.
there we go. Cool.
All
All right,
right.
and I think that's it. Did you have anybody else, David?
That's what I'm looking. I don't think so.
I've
I
got
think
disordered people,
Right.
but
yeah,
that's about
I
it.
got a
Yeah.
few of them too, and stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Exciting
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess we probably need to
Hit the end turn
hit
button.
the end turn button like that.
It's like
And the
magic.
move marker button like that. And oh, yeah, okay, it's all super weird, but sure. So yeah, that sets that up, and then I guess we'll move the clock to 11. Oh, we might have made an error here. Are there any units from the U formation that are still left on the field?
The U formation.
He might not be, honestly. Let me open up the graveyard. Unfortunately, U and LI are right next to each other, which makes it really hard to see what's going on. But I only see 2 U units in the graveyard. Or is that a U? God, it's so hard to read. That's a U,
So
so
you should
that's
have
3.
four musketeer battalions that are U.
Okay, so one of them's somewhere about. Oh, okay. Well, it's this guy here. And that's why the leader never came back this turn.
Right, because the guy's routed.
Command never activated because the guy's routed. Okay. Actually, that's a really interesting question. I've never really thought about it. What happens when the last unit in an outfit is a routed unit? Do you activate it or not? In other words, do I bring a leader back on with the routed unit? Obviously, the routed unit doesn't do anything during the activation.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe he does. If that's the case, then what happens here is I drag this out, Oh, wow. That is maybe one of the all-time worst ever. Look at him.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's
So
really
for
impressive.
combat, he's a -3.
Yeah, which I think what the rules tell you is that the worst it can be is 0.
Right.
But I mean, it means that no matter how good the guy he's replacing, who wasn't that good to start with, I mean, oh, look at that. So his initiative rating is -6, which means his initiative rating becomes 0,
Right.
and his
His morale benefit is a +6, so then that's going to
where
be
did the unit go?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Where did he go?
It says he moves off board. Uh,
no, he moved
undo.
from off board to hit the undo button at least
Okay,
once.
all right.
Oh,
There he
there we
is.
go.
That was weird.
Now where did the?
No, the
Oh,
thing's underneath him. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so
So
basically now this guy is
a
nothing,
0 everything, right?
nothing, nothing.
Wow.
He's of no benefit whatsoever. And therefore, of course, he had no effect on that guy's
Route
inability
recovery. Yeah, yeah.
to do route recovery, right? So pretty good times there. I think we'll all have to agree. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put him there with those guys for no reason whatsoever. Go ahead
and
and
you
mark
and
his.
you have a copy of him in the graveyard or whatever
Yep,
we.
yep.
Okay.
There's a copy of him in the graveyard already, so I think we're good. And then we'll move the clock to 11:40. We'll move the end turn marker up to 0, and there we go. My goodness.
Okay. Well,
All right. Well, that was truly impressive.
okay. So time for some more, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, we can just go ahead and start another turn. And let's see, is there anything weird going on here? Probably not. We're going to probably end up needing a army morale check at the end of the next turn at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I would think so. You probably have
one or both
enough.
of us will be at a point where we need to.
Yeah, because I think you. Let me just double check here. So the Russians need to get to 50 losses to trigger an army check.
Okay.
And the Prussians need to get to 75 to trigger an army check.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
I think if you're not at 50 already, we'll get you there soon enough.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that really. I can kind of see that happening. So, all right. Well, I'm not sure whose role it is.
Well, we'll have you start just for the sake of convenience.
Oh, because that way there's no one to blame but me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the start of a new turn. It's as if we just turned on the live stream.
Right. All right. So here we go.
So that's actually one for you.
No, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. There's probably only 16 or 17 places that would benefit from going first. All right, we'll go ahead and do Gal here. Somebody unpronounceable, I'm sure. Oh, Diaz. Good Russian name, Diaz.
Oh, the guy up there off the Galgengrand.
Right, and he's going to go ahead and roll, and he's going to roll badly. And this is one of those rare occasions where it matters. I'm sure he's not at 8, but I'm going to look just because.
No, he's half that, yeah.
So that's not really okay because that means that's 1, And that's 2. That's 3. But there's really. Is there any benefit to turning at all? No, not really. Actually, in some ways, it's worse.
Well, I don't even know if you have enough movement points, right? Wouldn't you have to? Oh, no, actually, you are lined up the right way, but being the
No, no,
fine
no,
Russians you are, aren't you?
no. My point is that actually, if I wanted to be in line facing southwest, actually, I'm better off not turning.
Yeah, yeah. No, you want to stay where you're at, but you don't have enough movement points to
Right.
go over to
So,
line,
so
right?
yeah. So that's going to be no. All
Oh my
right. Well
gosh, it
then,
cost you 3 movement points to turn that way.
yeah. To do it the good
Yeah,
way,
the good way.
which is insane. All right. I'll go ahead and add the dismounted dragoons to all of this festivity. They're they're in command, but probably won't be able to manage to do a close assault any better than they were last time. So we'll give it a try, just because why
This
not?
time with feeling. Come on. There we
Yeah,
go.
that was quite a bit of feeling.
Yeah.
All right, so the defender then would need to roll a defender morale check.
So why couldn't he just retreat before combat? Because he's cavalry and you're
Well,
infantry.
I guess he could if he wants to. Yeah.
Wouldn't that make more sense?
It might. The truth is he's very likely gonna, like. He's got a fair chance of routing no matter what.
Oh, I see. So if he retreats before combat, then he's got to make a disorder check or a morale check, F or whatever it is,
The only
right?
difference, he still has to make a morale check. He just makes it after the retreat.
Right.
Whatever retreat he elects to do. And to be honest with you, that's maybe not a bad thing, right? You retreat to there, and you got plenty of room to run if you. Well, okay, not really a lot of room to run because you'll lose strength points if you run through there. But anyway, that is absolutely a reasonable thing to do. Or you could, dare me to win.
And I don't know. Okay. If he did retreat, how would he go? He'd have to go here first, and then
Well, he'd have
turn,
to retreat. No, he would just retreat to.
or could I
He would retreat
retreat
here or
like that?
here. Well, I don't know how far you can retreat to. Do you just
Well,
move one
well,
hex or do you move multiple hexes?
well. You can. The normal rules for a retreat before close combat, and I'm going to take it as given that that these guys are allowed to retreat before close combat because they're being attacked by infantry. Oh, wait a minute! I should have shot first. Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Forgive me. I don't know what these guys are counted as being, though.
Yeah, because they're not on the chart.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, because they're dismounted dragoons, which is not one of the options here. Isn't that interesting? Russian special rules, dismounted dragoons, grenadiers, and musketeers, but the dismounted dragoons are not on the chart. Let's just call them musketeers,
Okay.
since that's the lesser one. So that's 12. So it's 1-to-1. 1-to-1's probably going to be plus 10 because of size, right?
Yep, it's a 12. So just go ahead and roll and we'll figure it out.
Nope, never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So they've successfully done the attack, the pre-melee morale check. So the defender now needs to retreat before close combat. And just because the question has come up, let me go grab the rules, which are in the other room. I'll be right back.
So page 38.
Pardon?
I said page 38 is what I
Yep.
see here. Light infantry attacked solely by non-light infantry. Infantry skirmishers. Cavalry that's attacked solely by infantry units. Unit retreats may moves 1 or 2 hexes, retreating player's choice, away from the enemy units that are designated to attack it when the retreat is completed. So you can retreat 1 or 2 hexes.
You can retreat 1 or 2, and the important thing is that facing isn't pertinent to the direction you retreat.
Yeah. It
So
says
you
movement
can
points are
retreat.
not. It says movement points are not expended. Terrain has no effect, except that
Right.
terrain normally prohibited to the retreating unit's type and formation may not be entered.
Right.
A unit may
So
not
basically,
retreat into enemy occupied hex. Okay.
you've got 3 choices then that you could go into, any one of those 3. And obviously, if you wanted to go 2 hexes, you could, but definitely those 3 for starters. You have to maintain your facing afterwards, and then you roll for the retreat before close combat morale check, which is type D.
Is there any modifier for how if you go the 2 hexes versus the 1, or is
Nope.
Think so? No, I don't think so. The kinds of modifiers there are were going to be for, being 50% losses, being shaken. Interestingly, not disordered. Isn't that weird? I've never noticed that. Oh, you know why? Because so often who retreats before close combat is skirmishers who don't have
Right.
shaken as an option.
I mean, don't have disorder as an option.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, really not a lot of modifiers. Really, most of the modifiers are just, are you shaken? Are you have it? And in this case, yes, you are.
and did it say it does or does not take terrain into account?
Doesn't take terrain into account. So because you're not using any movement points, so you're just moving 2 hexes.
No. I think his question was, are there terrain effects for the morale check? Yes, there would be terrain effects for the morale check, but you're welcome to go 1 or 2 hexes regardless of the terrain, because none of those terrain are prohibited to you.
Well, one thought was I could go that way.
Yeah, but being in the marsh, your morale is modified by +5. So it's actually bad to be in the marsh. Right?
Right.
But if you were in the village or the woods or a walled farm, then it's a different thing. So you don't want, if you put yourself in the marsh, that's going to make your morale, when your morale check's going to be worse.
It's just that much worse.
Yeah,
right?
by 5. So if it, comes down to a close thing. So what would be better would be to, go over here or, go somewhere else kind of a thing, but don't go into the marsh.
All right. Yeah, we'll go there. Whatever.
Okay. All right. And then make your check and see what magic happens. 95.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
No worries at all. All right. And I'm not in an enemy zone of control, so I guess I can actually go whichever direction I want. The question is, what direction do I want?
That's a Sophie's choice there.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's probably a better choice, yes.
We'll just do that because that's the bigger problem. I think that's going to be it. I mean, I could go ahead and move the wagon trains. Doesn't make any difference whatsoever because they're moving so slow that it ain't going to change nothing. Alrighty, where's that guy? Where is that guy? Oh, there it is. All right, and All right. So I think that'll be it, and then it's over to you, Eric.
Okay, here we go. All right, that's one for us. And so let's see. David, do you have any grand plans of things to do, or should I unleash?
I think you should unleash what we got in the middle and see what
Okay,
happens.
okay, we will give that a try, shall we? Um, so the question is, do we do Fleming first and just kind of roll them up this way, or do something, soften them up with this guy? um, let's see here. I'm going to, yeah, I mean, we're pretty likely to get the next activation anyway, from a
Mm-hmm.
statistical point of view. So I'm willing to try and see what we can do here. So I'm going to activate KA, which is this chap over here. We've got these guys here that are disordered, that are part of KA. I'm pretty sure they're part of him. Yep. And then what about those other guys? I got to flip those guys over to find out who they belong to. Whoops. These guys are KA also. Okay, so let's roll for the guys that are back here that are disordered. See if we can get them back to happiness. 31 minus whatever being disordered is.
Have
Being,
your or
yeah, being halved I don't think affects disorder, right?
No, it's just +5 for
Yeah,
being disordered, unless
okay.
you're in an enemy zone of control.
So
so
they are
yeah.
going to be only shaken now. Okay, cool. And then they can move half their movement since they're out of command. So, and so let's go ahead and have them go 1, 2 back across the temporal rift that's there. Good. And then I've got these guys here that are disordered. So let's go ahead and roll for them. And they are happy to be back in the fight.
All right. So now it's fire.
Yep. Okay. So now these chaps can fire here. And I've got 4 increments times times 5. So that's going to be 20. So that's going to be a 2-to-1 shot on your boys there. Let's see what we get. A 4-0 at 2-to-1. That is not enough to hit anybody.
Actually gets me a return fire,
It
which
does.
almost never happens.
Yeah, because it's a 10 number, right?
Right, ends with a 0. So that's going to be, I guess it's 4 times 4, it's 16.
Yep, 1.5 to 1.
So 1.5 to 1, and the target size is normal. So
Yep.
we'll go ahead and just shoot back at them. 1.5 to 1, nothing.
Okay, that was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now it's time for movement, and let's bring these guys up. They'll go 1, 2. They'll march up here to get themselves in position to do something exciting in a future turn. All right, that's it for KA. All right,
Alrighty, David.
David.
All right. Boom.
Yep, that's one for us.
Continue with your.
Indeed. Here we go. Let's unleash havoc, cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to go? Well, we can fire some artillery, and we will activate Fleming. So first of all, I'll fire this gun. It can fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's the target? I guess this guy's a target. I guess this guy's a target. I don't know. Oh, maybe this guy's a target. I don't think I'm crossing any hex side shooting at him. But he's all on his lonesome out there. We'll fire on these
Yeah,
guys. So one, two, three,
yeah, I
four,
think you'd
five,
be better off
6.
doing that.
Yep. So 6 with the 12 pounders. That's times 5. So that's going to be 20. So that's going to be a 2-to-1 shot. No pluses, no minuses. And that's a miss. So we're going to go ahead and keep them where they're at and just mark them as finished. Now we've got some people on the other side of the creek that might be a good opportunity for them to fire. So I've got this guy here who can fire into what? I can fire at this guy or I can fire at this guy. What's a good target?
Oh, probably
I
one
don't,
of each.
yeah. So, yeah, we'll have this guy fire on that chap, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's times 2, so that's going to be 8 to 10. No pluses, no minuses. 82 at 1.5 to 1. That's good enough
Might be enough
for
for a
a
hit.
hit. Yep.
Yeah.
And a morale check since it was
Mhm.
even. All right. That's probably good
Yeah.
enough for them, right? Because they're
Yeah, it
grenadiers.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will then mark that guy as, whoops, hit the wrong
Not that.
button.
Not that way.
Yep, finished. Okay, then this chap will fire on these guys. I think that's the same distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, probably
Yep.
is. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's going to be 8 to 10, but I think I got a plus something because your guns are
Yeah,
worth
there will be
8.
for size. Yeah, it's gonna be like
And yeah.
plus 10 or 15. Not sure which.
Yeah, it's only plus 10 because you've got
All
11
right.
points there.
Right.
Oh, it's a special
Uh
something
oh.
or other.
Uh oh. It's either real good or real
Artillery
bad.
01. That is reroll 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, here we go. Here's one of the rolls, a 62. And here's another roll, a 94. Well, the 94 is probably a hit and a morale check from the looks of it.
Definitely enough for a hit
Yep,
there.
and the 62 is not enough for anything. Oh, actually, no. The 92 with the plus 10 becomes that's actually 2 hits and a morale check with a plus 10. But your morale check is fine, but yeah.
I, I,
So it's 1.5 to 1.
because
But
it's
because of the
104.
plus 10,
It's 104.
it becomes, 104.
So does that mean one goes on the artillery?
Oh, yeah, because it's 2 hits, isn't it? Oh, but it's
Yeah.
long range. So it would be.
Oh no, you're right. It
Yeah.
would.
So
Yeah,
it is only just 1 hit on the infantry. And
yes, it
it's,
would actually take 4 hits to actually hit the
Yep.
the
at
artillery
this distance.
at this
Yes.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. That was exciting. Okay, so now we're going to move Fleming, and let's see what we're going to do with Mr. Fleming. So we've got some more firing to do. We've got these guys and these guys that can all take some shots. So let's go ahead and do this guy firing here. So they're Fusiliers at a range of 2. They're times 2, so that's going to be 8 to your flank. So that's a 1 to 1.5 shifted, I guess, to 1 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And no pluses, no minuses. 58 at 1 to 1 is not enough to do anything. Then the next chap is going to fire here. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 1 to 1.5. No pluses or minuses, and that's a miss. All right, and then I guess these 2 guys can combine on that chap. So that's going to be, there's still Fusiliers everywhere. No, this guy's a musketeer. Oh, it doesn't matter at a range of 2. Okay.
Nope.
So it's going to be then 16 to 10, so 1.5 to 1. 64 at 1.5 to 1
That's
is
probably
enough
enough for
for
a
a hit
hit.
and a morale check. And those are grenadiers, so I'm sure they're probably happy. Yeah. We need to get them dead some more before anything else happens. All
I don't know
right.
what you're worried about.
All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to move this guy. Well, these two are going to move together to into these two hexes, I guess. So um, only your one chap, I guess, gets any sort of opportunity fire as I move this guy in, right?
Yeah, and it's 1 to 3, so I have to roll a 90 or better to get any effect at all.
Hey, you rolled a
All right, so
91.
so D needs to do a disorder check then.
Oh, is that what it is? A little D?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and roll for that. 26. They might fail because they are. Oh, they did it. They're 24s. Okay. I thought that they were not so hot. Cool. The king is smiling upon them. All right. Now we got to figure out what to do with the rest of our people. So let's. David, what do you want to do with your cavalry? Do you want me to engage his infantry here, or um, what are you thinking?
Um,
Because he's got, it looks like what his remnants of his cavalry here look like they're heading over to this part of the world. So I'm trying to figure out if I leave a gap here for you that you could then ride your ponies between these if I move these guys forward, kind of a thing.
right. Then I could come forward and protect your flank and rear.
Yeah, or
With,
you get your
or
guys here and then you're just playing havoc behind the lines.
I think it's really cute that you're worried about protecting your flank and rear.
Yeah, I'm not.
well, if he goes one way, you
I've
got
got these guys here to protect my rear, right? So these guys can march up and protect it. So the idea is that I think if these guys come forward, then you'll have a gap that you can then move your ponies through this way and kind of get him
yeah.
back behind his line. Okay, cool. That's what I'll do then. All right. So then these two guys are going to step forward like that.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and take op fire shots at each of them,
Okay.
and there'll be 1 to 1.5 shots in each case. So we'll do
Okay.
this one here. Okay, well that's enough for a hit and a disorder check and a morale check.
Exciting. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put a hit on him. And then let's go disorder check first. Ooh, special something or other.
Yeah.
Disorder check. This was opportunity fire results
Yep.
07. If the unit stacked with the leader, the check is passed. Well, the leader is
All
conveniently
right.
stacked there. So now we do the morale check and we're happy. Okay, next one.
All right. And then the other one, same as the other. Miss.
Okay, all right. So those guys are there. Then this guy is going to, I guess, what would he do? He would turn. There's a 1. And then 2 puts him there. I don't know. Do you get an opportunity shot?
I
Can you
don't know. I
see
was
him?
trying to figure that out because I've only
You,
got 2 strength points that can shoot that way, and only half of them would be able to shoot because they're blocked. So it's only 1 strength point. So it'd be 1 to 5. So no, I don't think either one of those would be valid for an opportunity fire shot.
Okay. All right, then last but not least, we'll have this guy here. He's going to turn, so that's 1, 2, 3, and he's going to end up right there. Well, let's see. I could push him forward 4 or 5, but that would be, yeah, let's do that. And so then he's going to make a disorder check for a rapid march. Hit the dice. Oh, he's disordered. All right, that should tempt you to come out, attack him. Okay, so now I'm going to do some, what is it, assault things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll roll for that guy. We'll roll for that guy. So first for that chap, there's no modifiers, right? It's just a straight up roll. 49.
Yeah.
So he is in all likelihood going in. Yeah, he's going in. And then the other chap here, we'll roll for him. And he's probably going in too. I think we already established that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you need to make your checks, I guess.
Okay. You need to say which attack's happening first.
Oh, let's do this one first.
All right. So he'll go ahead and roll.
So what kind of modifiers does he have?
Plus 10 for being attacked through the flank. So that's probably really.
Okay. And he's got someone in his rear too. I don't know if that makes it.
Yeah, but I don't think that adds any more to it, and he's not facing him anyway. So I don't think so. I think it's just the plus 10.
All right, then it looks like he's going to pass.
So he stays for the moment. No defensive fire. And so you're, I'm sorry, what was your strength? 7? 7.
Yep, 7
I think
to.
what I got 4 left. If I got 4,
Yep.
if I got 5.
You got 4.
Yeah, 4. All right, so it's 1.5 to 1, plus 6.
Okay, so isn't it more than plus? Oh, so then mine is going to be 8 and then -2. Okay, all right. I was trying to figure it out. So, okay, cool. Here we go. Let's roll. So that's going to be 2 more. So that's going to be an 8 is going to be the results at 1.5 to 1. That's 1 loss for me, 3 losses for you, and you rout. Well, he's only got 5 increments. Did he take 5 losses? Oh, yeah, he's going to
have 1 left.
No, he's not, because the minute he moves, he's moving through his zone of control, so he gets wiped.
Oh.
Yeah, so if he goes there, he gets wiped out. If he goes there, he gets wiped out.
It's.
Yeah. All right, you've got the son of.
You need to advance after close combat. You need to. Okay.
Oh, and then I can change my facing, I guess, or.
No, you're in an enemy zone of control. Okay. You can't change facing.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so now I'll go ahead and do defender morale, which is, I don't know, it's plus 10 minus something. All right, that's fine. What is that?
So you got 2 increments times 4, so you're going 8 to 10?
Yeah, 8 to 10, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5 plus 20.
98, that's probably good for a hit or 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be 1 hit and then a disorder check and a morale check, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and put the hit on. Disorder check, 22. We're going to be disordered. Let's find a disorder marker for him. And then the morale check, 88. Well, we're happy about that. So that means that I've got 6 halved is 3 to your 2. So we're at the 1.5 to 1 chart.
1.5 to 1 again. Okay, all right.
and I'm going to have
You're a
+5.
5.
I don't know what you're worth
I don't know. I'm still working that out.
because you'd be half dead, so you'd be 2 down, so you're at +1.
Yeah, I don't. Well, except of course, except of course, in the last game you didn't like that. So what we
Well,
did
and that's what I
instead
was trying to remember. So then he'd
was
be half of
well,
3, so he'd be a 2.
it's the greater of the two.
Right,
Either you subtract 2 or do half rounded, and
right.
whichever's better you get. So,
So he's
and
worth 2.
the leader is now worthless.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so so it's going to be a +3 then, right? For
it
me.
looks like, yeah,
Okay.
1.5 to 1 plus 3. It looks like.
Is there anything? Well, actually, I'm not in your flank. I just have another guy in your
No,
face. Okay, so here we go. Let's roll. See what we get. Oh, a special something or other.
that is
Let's find that. A 0
one loss for
0.
me, and I'm vaporized.
Yeah, 1 loss for me and 3 for you.
Uh-huh.
Well, that wasn't so bad. Does that mean that leader's dead a second time? We get a second set of points for him?
Yeah, it's less points the second time. I
Ah.
have to go look up exactly what the rule is about that.
More important question, is there anybody left of that command for him to come back to anyway?
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, there isn't.
Yeah, I think they're all dead. Mission accomplished.
God damn it.
All right, so then those guys advance, and that's now there's nobody there, so they could potentially, I guess, turn if they wanted to.
Yeah, if they want to, yeah.
Okay, I don't see a compelling reason to
Why
do
they
that.
would.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That was Fleming, so let's go ahead and flip Fleming. All right, David, it's your turn to roll some dice.
All right, let's see what we get. Hey, it's 1 for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, does it matter? No. 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 Sorta. Huh. Oh, well, whatever. All right. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and do a variety, a medley of. Let's take a look and see what we got there. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and do the cavalry over here again. And I guess he needs to roll for himself, and he probably manages not to put himself in command, which, should surprise me, but it doesn't.
Just
Yeah,
listed by 1.
so he's not in command. And then we're gonna remove the disorder from him. And then we'll do some other things too. We'll go ahead and let's see. We'll activate these grenadiers here. We'll activate this artillery here. We'll activate. Fuck, I don't know. We'll activate some other stuff too, I guess. Um, um, so I guess these guys can go ahead and shoot if they feel like it. So that's 1 to 1.5 against that guy. So why not? It's a free shot. Why not? 1 to 1.5. That's not going to be enough. It's actually enough for a return fire if you want to. So that's going to be
cool. So
4
that's
times 2. It's going to be 1 to 1.5 back at me.
Here we go. That's a miss.
Okay. All right. Then this artillery is gonna go ahead and fire, and I guess I will go ahead and do separate fire combats against each of these guys.
So does the disorder affect the artillery?
So here's the funny thing about disorder, because disorder doesn't mean what you think it does.
Okay.
What you might think it does is it reduces by half your ability to fire, your fire strength. That's not what it says, though. What it says is it reduces by half the number of strength points that can fire out of the hex.
Out of the hex. Yeah.
In
so
this case,
you've only got
I'm only trying to fire 2, so I don't care.
Yeah. Cool.
And to me, that I'm not really terrifically kosher with that, but that is what the rules say. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. All right.
Well, and so then it's not going to impact the grenadiers either because they've only got 2 increments firing out anyway. So
well, it means that they couldn't fire in the same activation, but they're not going to fire in the same activation because it's the cavalry that got activated.
Yeah,
so yes, that is the weird part about it. Of course, the other thing is by the time they activate, they may very well be undisordered.
Yes.
But it is one of those kind of quirks of the rules that I'm not convinced really makes any sense. Because I always just assumed that it was half strength. Okay, half strength. I can do half strength. Take whatever the number is, divide by 2, right?
Yep.
That's not what it says. So, all right. So it's 2 to 1.
Okay.
Here.
46
probably not enough for anything.
Nope. Need to get into the 50s to do some damage there.
Yeah, and I think that's going to only be 1.5 to 1 because it's 3 hex range.
Your 12-pounders are times. Yeah, so it's going to be 12.
No,
so
that's
it's a
not
1 to
even.
1.
No, it's not. It's 1 to 1.
Yeah. So this is a 1 to 1.
I will just point out one more time that there is something profoundly wrong with this game design here. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. You're walking around with these freaking panzers. Whatever.
Oh, you got a special something or other.
Yeah.
It's probably 2 shots.
No, it says accurate fire. Shift the odds column 1 to the right and re-roll.
Okay, so now it's 1.5 to 1.
Yep.
You mean what it probably should have been the first time? just as long as we're clear about that.
There you go. A 73 and 1.5.
That's enough.
That's good enough for a single hit.
Yep.
And I think I've already got. We're chipping away at that poor guy.
Yeah.
Okay, not much left of him.
No, not really. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we sure are having fun here. All right. Well, then, is that everybody who's going to shoot, or do I want to go ahead and shoot these guys too? I probably should. I'll go ahead and shoot all these guns along this line because there's no reason not to. Um, that's a howitzer at 5 hex range is a 5. Oh, it's 4
Yeah,
hex
4 hex
anyway, isn't
range.
it? But it's still 5.
That'll be a
All right.
1-to-1.
So shooting at them, it's a 1-to-1, and
There's 8 there, so it's going to be a plus
be
10.
plus 10. 1-to-1 plus 10. Just missed. All right. No, 1-to-1 plus 10. That is enough for a hit.
Yeah, because that
That's a
becomes a
74. It's
74.
a hit and a morale check.
All right.
Well, you're not going to get that plus 10 anymore.
Damn it.
And a morale check.
They're happy. Please, can we have another?
Please. All right. And then the. Oh, actually, let's retract that. Those weren't Shuvalov howitzers. These are Shuvalov howitzers. Those last ones were just howitzers, so they were actually just times 3.
Oh,
So that meant it was just 6. So it was 1-to-2. 1-to-2. I bet it wasn't a hit.
no, because that's a 74.
Exactly.
You got to get into the 90s. Okay, so knock a hit off. There we go.
All right, we'll try the next one this time with feeling.
Oh, that's a good one. That's going to be a 98 at 1-to-1.
Definitely a hit for
That's
that
a
one
hit
then.
and a morale check. And they're happy.
All right. And then these lousy 6-pounders at, is that 6? Or is that 5? 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
6-pounders at 5, so that's times 4, so it's 1-to-1.5 against this target here. And it's going to be plus 10, 1-to-1.5.
Oh, another special something. C03 guns explode. No. Battalion guns. It says re-roll, add
No,
1
no,
SP.
no. It's artillery fire.
Oh, that's artillery. Okay.
A stack adjacent to the target
becomes the new target. All right. So how do you decide? You just flip a coin?
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously we need to go look because we need to figure out what the rules say about that particular special event. Because I don't know. That's not obvious to me what would constitute. Is it wildfire? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it says wildfire.
Yeah, there we go. A unit or stack, friendly or enemy, adjacent to the original target stack becomes the new target. If there are several adjacent and eligible units or stacks, determine the new target randomly. If there's no adjacent unit or stack, or the new target is outside the range or facing of the firing unit, treat the result as no effect. And I think that's what it's going to end up being. Because
you can't shoot.
I can't hit either one of.
Yeah, because this guy's blocked line of sight, and this guy's not in your zone. Yeah.
That's why I wanted to look because. Well, no, wait a minute. Right. A unit that's out of line of sight can be the new target, but not out of facing. Okay. All right. So I think that's nothing.
Well, if a unit that is out of sight can be, then this would be a target.
Oh, you're right. Then it would have to be that one. He's out of line of sight, but he is within the facing. So, yeah, okay. All right. So what did we say it was? It was 1 to... Oh, okay. Well,
those are your
let me look,
pounders,
because
right?
I stopped reading, and I should have, because there was...
So that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Use the
5.
odds and modifiers originally calculated and re-roll the fire combat, applying the result to the new target.
All right. So
So
it
it's
doesn't
So
matter
that's
that this one is bigger.
is actually even bigger. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't, which is curious. It could cut both ways though, depending
Yeah.
upon which way it went. So it's 1 to 1.5 plus 10, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was before?
Yeah.
And after all that, nothing. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else that needs to do anything at all?
I guess it's
Oh,
time to move people now, right?
no, it's not. I still got people to shoot.
Oh,
I mean, it's pointless, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because this is how I amuse myself. So this guy way back here in the back, he's
Yep.
going to shoot at your cavalry. That's
Cool.
going to be 1-to-1. It's going to be 1-to-1 plus something. On the other hand, if he doesn't roll well, it doesn't matter. And he didn't roll well,
Yeah.
so it didn't matter. And then these guys, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and activate these guys and move them forward too, and then flip them over and point them somewhere so they can shoot at somebody.
that you wait long enough, there'll be Prussians there.
Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this guy. Yeah, that's not really great. Guess 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll worry about that later. All right, and I guess I can finally move people. I mean, if you want, I could do that. It's really no
You
big
can leave the
deal.
cavalry where they're at. Or Moscow is further to the east.
It really doesn't matter what I do. That's the beautiful part about this. I can be very relaxed about it. So I'm going to move those guys back, which means you get a shot from a couple of different units, and there's going to be an excellent chance that he doesn't survive it.
Oh, yeah, because that guy can fire at him, and that guy can fire at him, right?
That's 8, and I don't know how much I have.
This guy is halved, so he's only got 2 that can fire out, right?
Yeah, I guess so. 8, 10, 12. So okay, so it's 1.5 to 1 though with the flanking fire.
Right. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we get. 24. That's not enough to worry about.
Okay. And then I'll do that. So those guys can fire their 2 times 2 is 4. It's 1 to 3.
Well, that's a good roll, but I don't think it's enough to do anything. And
no, you needed
I just get 1 shot, right? Yep.
Yeah, you needed a 90 on that.
Okay. And then I guess what you roll for line backup stuff or something.
No, because I haven't stopped moving. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get to 1 more shot at him.
Okay, here we go. Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. Wow, that's really amazing. Okay, now I'll roll for the disorder recovery for all that. And he's fine. Okie dokie. And then we'll go ahead and move that cavalry while we're at it. Not really sure what in the world I'm going to do with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just pretend that's good enough. And was it anybody else who had anything useful to do? Probably not. All right. Well, I think that's it. I also think it's 10:15.
Oh yeah, we've gone past our
Yeah.
usual time.
Yeah, actually,
So
we got to get deeply engaged
yeah,
there for a little bit, and I didn't realize it. Well, very good. Well, then we probably should punt.
we should probably hit the big save button and
Yep, that sounds like a
say
good
a
plan.
fond farewell to our 5 viewers who are tuning in at this particular moment in time.
5.
And
Thanks,
William
5.
Arens, who is he's got us up on the big
Oh
board
man,
there.
we've
So
graduated all the way to the big monitor.
yeah.
That's good.
And this is the 1140 turn.
It is the 11:40 turn, and
Part 1. Okay. Cool.
and 11:40 right there.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And the debacle will continue. Same bat time,
Same bat channel. Yep.
right?